guests and your guests get in the room. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Gislaine Nodor, Don Brad. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ekeleme, welcome. Esther, welcome. Kendall, welcome. Jason, oh my God, Mr. Shapiro, thank you, sir. Man, the pressure is on. Janet, welcome. Tina, welcome. Dana, welcome. Rick Martin, welcome. Cynthia, oh my goodness. I see 12. Ladies and gentlemen, please, thank you, leaders, for making sure that people are in the room. Sometimes it takes a little help when they're brand new. Allison, welcome. Cynthia, welcome. From Canada, Allison, welcome, welcome. Okay, 12 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Marita UNESCO. Dexter, welcome, welcome. Walter, welcome, welcome. We're from Dallas. There you go. And I'm an independent member with RGB. Extremely honored to be a part of this company and extremely honored to be speaking with you today. Ladies and gentlemen, this company has changed my life. And I want to thank you for spending the time today, because what if we could do something like that for you, right? We're here for a reason. Right? We're here because things that we have been doing have not been giving us the results. Welcome, Thomas, John Bisbal, James, Carnegie, have not been giving us the results that we wanted, right? Maybe something, Victoria, welcome. Maybe something like it happened to me. I worked very hard for many years, Jeremy, welcome, and I made money, good money, and then I found myself having to start over with no money for retirement and for no money for anything. And Jason, welcome, right? So I'm thinking there's got to be something different, right? Today, how many of us have seen layoffs and downsizing? Monica and Zoltan, welcome. And we've seen people lose their jobs, and then all of a sudden, in 90 days, they have nowhere to go, lose their homes. So what used to work, because when my mom and dad were around, that was a few years ago, what happens is, what happened to them and to so many other people, they could work very hard with the same company for 40 years and then retire on a retirement that was enough and live happily ever after until the time came. And today that doesn't hardly ever work anymore, right? And people change careers sometimes 10 times, 3 to 5 times at least, but more often than not, 10 times. People have, sometimes I see people working 2 or 3 jobs. Anyway, we're looking for alternatives. And this company was put together. So, Aaron, welcome, welcome. This company was put together to give us alternatives. Nowadays, people understand that we have to have something that's ours, that is that we have equity in, right? So nobody can fire us when we have something that's ours. We can build it. We can leave it to our family when we go. And so, and that can we continue to grow and continue paying us after we stop doing the work, what is called residual income. I never had that. I had to work to get paid. How many of us know what I'm talking about? And then when I stopped working, my income stopped, right? That happened to a lot of us. And so over 15 years ago, we're in our 16th year now, a gentleman named Mr. Chad Shapiro created this company. Why? Because of that reason. Because he'd already had tremendous success in business. I'll tell you more about it in a minute. But he didn't want to just, be happy and ride into the sunset with his success and for him and his family. He wanted to give back. When we receive a lot, how many of us have ever felt so thankful that we want to give back, right? Well, that's exactly what happened to him. He had done so much. He had done millions in business, helped people make millions, and he was so thankful. So he asked, what can I do to give back, to give to his mentors back? He wanted to give his men, and the mentor said, give it back to other people. Give it to other people, right? You get it? And that's why this company was created. It's called Our GV, which stands for Our Global Vision, because he didn't even want it to be his company. He wanted to be our company. You guys get it? And leaders, if you can call the people to let them know to just log out and come back in if they have a phone. If it's your person, you call them privately, right? And make sure that they whatever, they log out and come back in if they have a sound issue. Because you guys can hear me, right? Hey, Taiwo, welcome. You can. Okay, thank you guys for that. All right. So, in order to hear what it is that our company does, I have the absolute privilege to introduce you to a gentleman who I met on the leads. I'm not going to tell you his story. He will. So, but he has a tremendous background. And one of the most incredible things about him is that with his background, he could have a little chip on his shoulder, right? And think he was a big deal. And he is very humble. He's very appreciative, very excited, very thankful for having the opportunity to learn from people like Mr. Chad Shapiro, our founder and CEO. And so he's been invited. And let me see how we can get his picture. I want to show you his picture and unmute his line. And he's going to tell us about RGV does. So let me find him here. All right. Without any further, ladies and gentlemen, incredible leader, incredible person, Mr. Kendall Featherstone. And let me see if this time, yeah, this time it will do on the first time. Let's see. No, still needs some little second effort.
Miss Inescu?
You are, you're the man. Thank you so much, Kendall.
Oh. Hello, Miss Inescu?
You are on, Kendall. Perfect. We hear you. Thank you. Over to you.
Awesome. Hello, guys. My name is Kendall Featherstone. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so thankful. I live in Ocala, Florida, and just a little bit about my story. I had the good fortune to work for one of the biggest names in business, Walt Disney World. It was in Orlando, Florida, and I worked there for 20 years. I guess they saw my passion and they made me a corporate trainer because I got to open every resort from the opening of Epcot all the way down to the opening of Animal Kingdom on the other end of the property. I was co-creator and the ambassador to teach thousands of cast members across the property for a program that we named Guest Satisfaction Measurement. It kind of explains itself. I received the Partners in Excellence. That's the company's highest award. But guys, with all of this, I had no permanence. I hadn't built any kind of personal business I could count on. Next thing I know, I'm retired now with not enough money. Well, RGV came into my life just at the right time. I'm going to be able to utilize my skill set, learn more about leadership, and I'm going to set up a system, thanks to Chad Shapiro, to set up my retirement for life. Their slogan is, "Welcome to RGV." And this is where we can help businesses, nonprofits, and members make money while we are helping the world. What a concept. Now, RGV's got this big umbrella, and they've got all these affiliate relationships from around the world for shopping, searching, health, personal development. For coordinators above, we've got this nonprofit support that is phenomenal. We've got business-to-business services all under this big umbrella. And you can work this best business opportunity you can find from anywhere, from your PC to your tablet to your phone. You can go from your home to the beach, from France with Miss Inescu to Africa to the Philippines. And it's all about affiliate marketing. Now, I didn't know about this, and maybe you didn't either, but who knows, right? Well, it's the newest evolving trend on the internet. And to break it down as simply as I can, it's where businesses share their software internet link with companies like RGV. So when we spend money with these companies, they pay us a percentage of the price back. That's pretty simple. Now, prior to affiliate marketing, all they had was TV advertising. You know, these companies spend millions of dollars hoping to get people in their spend in their store. But with affiliate marketing, they only pay out money when we pay for something of theirs. What a concept. These stores love it. And 15 years ago, our CEO, Chad Shapiro, saw this, he's such a visionary. He saw this revenue stream and built RGV on it. Now, together with President Marlon Powell, they created RGV Mall, and it's not a structure you can go to, but a visual reality, basically, where you can shop big name stores just like you do at home, Walmart, Home Depot, Target, Best Buy. So when we buy, we get money back. Don't you love that? Now, members can get referrals like your neighbors. When they spend money, they get money back, and then we get a percentage cut over and above. And then we always have a cut for nonprofits. And another affiliate, millions. The little slide here says 144, but I've heard 175 million by now. And for what? You get to watch videos and give opinions. You can surf Amazon, search Yahoo. Go to a restaurant, you can eat, rate it, and get paid. What's wrong with that, huh? I belonged to Swagbucks before RGV. I watched a Geico commercial, took a survey, and made about $10 in 10 minutes. That's kind of like having fun in your business, I think. I don't know. We have this next level leadership that is so close to my heart. It is self-development, and it's available worldwide for businesses that are huge, corporations, all the way down to smaller businesses like privately owned, say a real estate office that wants to get their crew going, all the way down to the individual who's just striving to be a better leader. Now, CEO Chad Shapiro had studied leaders, and he's got such leadership skills of his own that he shares, and well, he founded this, and shares his wisdom and insight on what it takes and how to be the best leader you can be. And like I said, this is closest to my heart because it not only helps you accomplish dreams, like it says on the slide, but it's going to make you a better team player, a better partner, a better all-round person, inside as well as out. That's why I love it. And get this, guys, it can have a commission up to 75%. With an additional 10% going to nonprofits. We can't leave out the nonprofits. They're always being helped. Leave it to RGV, Chad Shapiro, and to give back and think about us and the nonprofits. It's amazing. The last thing I'll talk about real quick is RGV Health. Now, these are naturally organic, pet-friendly, kind of top-of-the-line health products. And members can, not only use them, but also get a nice commission on, guys. And remember, there's all kinds of different health product stores in the mall too. So shopping a variety is always there for us and our referrals and friends that we get in. Now, if you want any recommendations for the RGV Health, I just asked Missy Inescu. She's a valued customer there. And speaking of her, I'm going to give it back to you. I thank you guys for your time. And Ms. Inescu is one of our greatest leaders and trainers. She's my personal mentor. I thank her very much, and thank you guys for your time. Have a great day, guys. Listen to her good.
Wow, amazing, what, right? Man, Kendall, thank you so much, my friend. Isn't he wonderful? Brand new, ladies and gentlemen, brand new. And what about his corporate background? 20 years at Disney, doing amazing corporate trainer. He could have an attitude, right? Well, he doesn't. He's very humble, always trying to learn more, being excited, thankful. Yeah. Mr. Shapiro said to me when I was brand new, he said, Marita, this business is real simple. All you have to do, Dave, welcome, welcome. All you have to do is find people that are better than you. And I said, no problem with that. So that's what I do all day long, ladies and gentlemen. People like Kendall, people like many of you here in this room today, very thankful. Okay, so pretty simple. How many of us get it under one umbrella? We don't have to get confused. It's like going to the grocery store and we have all these different aisles for different products, right? We get confused that some aisles are for shoes and the other aisles are for computers and the other aisles are for breakfast cereal, right? It's just all under one umbrella. People get there what they want. Same with RGV. And people who want to be in business, they see the possibility of profiting from everybody. When people get health products, they profit. When people get next level leadership training programs, they profit. When people shop online at all these stores, they profit. When people search the internet, etc. You get it? So the idea is this. Can you imagine the stores on one side and the customers on the other side? Let's say on the right and then the other one's on the left. And we're in the middle. Can you guys see that? And we have, Sandy, welcome. And we have agreements with all these stores. So when we bring them the customers, the stores pay. And then RGV shares the money, like Kenda was talking about. Get it? Simple, right? So we're in the middle of multi-billion-dollar marketplaces. There's never been a moment in history in a company like RGV where we can profit from the ongoing, like Kenda was saying, markets in the world that has everything. See, if you and I work with a company that is just selling one type of product, how many of us agree? Whether it's fitness, health, or makeup, or travel, or whatever, we're stuck with that product. What happens when another company comes up with a better product? We're out of business. What happens? And then even simpler than that, if we're profiting from a market of just one type of product or services, we're not profiting when people do everything else, like shopping. That includes everything, like searching, like watching video. You get it? So that's like Kendall said, right? Mr. Shapiro's genius to have everything under one umbrella. So how do we do it? Ladies and gentlemen, we do it by building teams. How do we share this with customers, with leaders, with people who want a home business? Because you and I, on our own, how many of us agree we could not find 10,000 customers, right? On our own. Because the more customers we have, the more money we can make, right? So we build a team. What if you and I build a team of 1,000 members and each one has 10 customers? That's 11,000 people. Do they all shop every day? Do they search the internet, right? Okay, so we build teams, and that was a new concept for me, because I don't know about you, but when I was little or you know, starting to grow up, I was told that I would have to go to university, get a degree on something, and then go work a job. My parents wanted me to be an accountant, and that was not my calling in life, right? And so, but I was taught, I was educated to go and get a job. And then when we look around, a lot of us were taught that, and we have done that. And that's where today we're looking for something that is different, because the job didn't get us to having the finances for our retirement or the lifestyle or the freedom to spend more time with our family or whatever, or the unlimited income potential or whatever, right? So we're looking for something else, and we're looking at the results of the people who own these companies where you and I used to work, right? Or where you and I are still working. And so these owners, do they have a team? Yeah, right? Their team is you and me punching in, punching out, or has been, right? So they have the money. You and I have to go to work to get paid. They get paid from their entire teams. They have freedom and flexibility of the schedule, so they can go play golf on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I like quoting Mark Christensen. And you and I had to go every day, right? If we didn't go to work, we didn't get paid. You get it? So here we have the opportunity to do what the owners do, what the wealthy people do. Unbelievable, right? So we do it through referrals. Somebody like Executive Director Ghislaine Nadeau was a referral from my friend. We have people here in this room from Canada that were referrals from somebody who was on social media. Anyway, you see what I mean? It just works like that. Leads looking for a business opportunity. Now, many of you were a lead. What does that mean? You filled out something on the internet. You said you were looking to work from home. You were looking for a business. And you're here. Look at that. Rick Martin, Walter, Kendall. Kendall was the lead. Banna, Sandy Henning. Some of the highest quality people. that are here in this room and that work with us in our company, Aaron, Sandy, all these people. I miss some of your names, of course. They're on the internet looking. So could we find the people, the team leaders in our team through the leads? You get it? Unbelievable people. Someone like Kendall was a lead, ladies and gentlemen. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. People like John Bisbal, executive director, was somebody I found on social media. There's many people here that are, Don Brad was found on social media. You get it? So incredible people where there are billions of people on social media that are looking. And then local networking. The person at the grocery store, they don't want to work there for the next 30 years. I've found a lot of my leaders, coordinators, customers, preferred customers from the grocery store, because these people are looking for an opportunity. And if you and I talk to them, guess what? We can give them the opportunity, right? If we don't talk to them, they go and work with somebody else in this company or in another company. So you get it? They're all over the place. At the restaurant, at the coffee shop, we start a conversation. The idea is to profit from other people's efforts. J. Paul Getty, one of the first recorded billionaires, said, I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts rather than 100% of my own. How many of us think that's brilliant? I thought, but we were not taught that. And CEO Chad Shapiro teaches us how to do that. So you and I can learn. How many of us learn, right? I know, right, Tina? I love it. Jim, I love it. So when we're looking at starting a business with LGB, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Like Kendall said, from anywhere, right? Talking to you from France, we have people in Canada, we have people in Africa, we have people all around the world. So what do we look at? What are the advantages, right? Because considering starting a traditional business like a grocery store or a clothing boutique or a trucking company or a car business, car lot, right? That takes a lot, doesn't it? We don't have a life anymore. Can you guys still hear me? And we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to start it. We know that. So here, look at that. Save more and make more from the things we're already doing. No inventory to stock. Imagine if we had a restaurant, right? We would have to get the place. No office or building leases. We work from wherever we are, right? Phone access, internet access. No cold calls, no salaries to pay. Our GV pays everybody. If you and I own a store, we're the ones who have to pay everybody. What kind of pressure is that, right? Work from anywhere, we talked about it, and no expensive insurance costs. Businesses, ladies and gentlemen, or even nonprofit organizations like our CEO, who is a pastor in his church and chairman of the board of the YMCA in San Antonio, they have to have $1 million insurance policy before they open the doors. We don't have to have any of that. We're independent members. So at the end of the year, we receive a 1099, and that's it. And we can deduct all of our expenses, our internet bill, in certain states, if you use a certain room in your house or in your apartment just for the business, then that can be deducted. So you have to check with your accountant because it varies from state to state in the United States, okay? If you're in Canada, I don't know how that works. And in different countries, I don't know how that works. But anyway, so people get excited. How do we do it? How do we get started? We have different options. Some people just get excited about being a customer, a shopper, because, hey, I'm going to shop anyway. I'm going to search anyway. How would I like to get cash back for everything I do? Of course, everybody. It makes sense to everybody, right? So free customers, our most popular option. 99% of our people sign up as a free customer. They can work their way up to higher levels if they want to through production, and they're happy because they receive their websites for free, their shopping mall with all the stores, their swag, but everything for free, and they get cash back from everything, all the business volume going through their site. They shop, they get cash back. They search, they get cash back. How many of us think that's exciting? And we can get, how many of us can think of other people that would be very exciting for? We have a special call on Tuesday evenings that talks more about our customers and how they get paid for shopping and searching. And so you and I, by next Tuesday evening, how many people could we have that are interested in learning how to be a shopper and get paid for it? You guys get it? Today is only Saturday, so very exciting. Then many people choose the preferred customer option, $30 setup fee and $30 a month. Why? Because this one pays 2.5 times more than the free. So they get their own websites, etc. And now they get 2.5 times more than the free. And also it locks their spot in the straight line, but also they get it cut from their own free customers. So let's say you're a preferred customer at the $30 and $30 a month. You can have 10 free customers. Every time those free customers shop and search, etc., you get a cut too. How many of you think that's brilliant? Okay. And the people who want to be in business, we have options as well. The most popular option is our Premier membership. Is $497, not per month, not per week, one time, ladies and gentlemen, and you remain a Premier for the rest of your career with our GV. And then $30 a month for the hosting. This one pays 3 times more of their referral bonuses than the preferred customer. Get it? All right, let me show you. Now, where do you start? Depends on whom. On you, right? Each one of us decides which one is the best option for us. Once we've decided that, we have to go to work, and our game plan is to get in the Producers Club. We're going to talk a little bit more about this in the training that's coming up right away, but the idea is once we get in the Producers Club, we have 4 qualified premiers with a bunch of customers each. If we do this in our first 30 days, even as a free or preferred customer, we earn $750 bonus. As a premier and above, we earn $1,000 bonus. You get it? This is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. So everybody has a shot. And so we'll talk more about this. So this is the game plan and the foundation of how everything else works. The compensation plan is real simple. It's like in any business. If you and I own a grocery store, do we have to have customers coming in and buying stuff, right? To make money. Yes, so in our GV, same thing. We have to have people doing purchases, shopping, searching, buying websites, buying memberships, watching videos, shopping at Amazon, going out to dinner, whatever they do, so that the partners pay. And when the money comes in, that's business volume. We call it BV for short. And then if we have no BV, we don't get paid, right? Just like if we own a grocery store and we have no customers buying anything. So that's our work, right? To find our customers and to find the team builders that are going to help us get more customers, because the more customers we have, the more our partners pay, the more sales there are, and then the more money comes in. You know what I mean? So if we do a lot of production with our teams and our customers, guess what? We can make more money. That's number one. And number two, like in any company, the higher we are in status, the more money we make for the same production. So let's look at this theoretical example. It's theoretical, but this is how the numbers work. So make sure you catch this one, okay? So let's say you work with RGV and you refer me and I sign up for free and I go to work and I start building a team, and me and my team are getting customers and we're getting the sales done. So the money is coming in and we do 20,000 BVs in a month. 20,000 business volume in a month, right? This is the example. So how much do you get paid because you refer me? As a free customer, you don't get paid, because free customers just get paid from their own business volume through their own site, but you worked your way up by production. So the next month you're at one of these higher levels because you worked your way up with my production. Isn't that wonderful? That's amazing. Now, what if you're a preferred customer at $30? That one, now you made $1,000. You get it, man? I love it. So now you made $1,000. Why? Because you're a preferred customer instead of a free in this theoretical example, right? What if you're a premier? You made $3,000. Same production. What if you're a coordinator? You made $9,000, ladies and gentlemen. Same production. That's 9 times more than their preferred customer. Unbelievable. If you're a manager, you made $10,000. If instead of 20,000 in volume, I had done 40,000, your checks would be double. If they were half, your checks would be half. You see? So the proportions remain the same. Now, it takes time to build this, ladies and gentlemen. It takes time, because to find somebody that does $20,000 in sales in a month, it's not going to happen in our first week or in our first month, probably, right? It's possible, like anything, but it's kind of unlikely. So how do we get paid now? How many of you are ready to get paid, for example, in April? All right, we have fast start bonuses, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody could start making up to $5,000 in fast start bonuses starting April for 6 months if we are a coordinator before the month starts. Right, Tina? All right. So if we're a coordinator, because fast start bonuses start at coordinator status. Free customers, preferred customers, and premiers don't get fast start bonuses. So we have to be a coordinator. How do we get to coordinator? By production. We do $20,000 in sales, we become a coordinator. And if we do that before the end of March, guess what? Starting April, we can make up to $5,000 in fast start bonuses. If we're a manager before April, we can make up to $7,000 in fast start bonuses. If we're a director before April, we can make up to $25,000. If we're an executive or above, we can make up to $50,000 per month, ladies and gentlemen. That's humongous. That's gigantic. That's ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. Those bonuses are being paid out if we do the production. You get it? So how many of us would like to learn how to do the production, right? So that's what training is about, and how to become the person who does the production, right? Alrighty. So we have to be a coordinator or manager of these levels before the month starts. Many people here are running towards becoming a director before the month of March, so that they can start being in a position to earn up to $25,000. I love it, Tina. I love it, Dana. Okay. So that's the compensation plan in a nutshell. And then we have the scholarship program. This is not like in college where the scholarship is something where you have to pay them back. No. The scholarship is an incredible program that all you have to do is, when you get any of the packages, right, you choose where you want to, and you fill out a form, and if you the success message, and then the company will reply with what they give you. And what they do is they give you lots of things extra on top of what you got. Even as a free customer, you fill out a scholarship and you get a whole bunch of stuff that you shouldn't normally get as a free customer. So let me show you. These scholarships allow people to go faster. So instead of having to work our way up to coordinator and to manager and to, you know what I mean, then we can get there, boom, like a jump, because of a scholarship. So how does it work? This is the biggest scholarship. We start with the biggest, we go down to the lowest, okay? So we start with the biggest. This is not for everybody, and many people have done this in their first day. So the Entrepreneur Package Scholarship, ladies and gentlemen, is for entrepreneurs. I'm talking to a gentleman who has owned 12 subways, okay? And he's looking at, we're working on having him look at our GV, all right, at the opportunity. Somebody like that would look at the Entrepreneur Package as the obvious way to start, right? But somebody who maybe doesn't want a business, then this would not be the option for them. Then they would have to start for free, for example, right? Or preferred customer. Okay. So the Entrepreneur Package, what does it give us? 2,000 bulk leads or the equivalent. Those are lists of people who are looking. Remember the leads like Kendall and Vanna and Sandy and Jeremy, right? Amazing. They give us the manager status for 6 months. That means we don't have to produce $40,000 in sales every month. They just make us a manager for 6 months. Amazing, right, Sandy? Then they give us a 6 months of the NLL VIP and all of the RGV advanced trainings for 6 months. They give us a $300 rebate check. What is that for? Why do they give us a $300 rebate check? Because a lot of the times, business owners use other people's money to invest in their business. So many people want to start with an entrepreneur package. They put it on a credit card. And the $300 allows us to pay for the payments. In the same manner, ladies and gentlemen, as we do when we want to buy a car. What do? We get a car loan, and then we just make sure we pay the payments, right? Or when we buy a home, we get a loan, a mortgage, right, to pay for the house, and then all we have to do is make sure we pay for the payments. So this check is for that, right? So you have 90 days, your credit card payments are paid, and you're working your business to start earning the bonuses, and then you have plenty of money to repay your credit card. You got it? Pretty simple stuff. And then they accept half deposits on the entrepreneur package, and that they give you the leads. Okay, that's beautiful. They also give you the ability to restructure for 4 weeks. I'll talk about that in a second. It also gives us this, the cruise, ladies and gentlemen. The Next Level Leadership inside this cruise that people on Next Level Leadership can buy individually. It's included in your entrepreneur package. That's amazing. It's a training. People pay $12,000 to go to training cruises like this, where information that is covered by people who have done millions in business can change somebody's life, right? The camaraderie, the deepening of the friendships that we have over the internet, all that is amazing. The fun, how many of us love vacations and fun, right? All of that is wonderful, life-changing, right, John? But the real life-changing thing happens because on the cruise, we get a chance to meet with and spend personal time and learn from in person from the man who founded this company, from the founder and CEO, Mr. Chad Shapiro. Why is that so priceless? Because he is the one. First of all, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even have the opportunity without him. But he's the one who's done the millions, you see. He started in business at a very young age, and he did millions. He built $1 million business in his first 12 months, and then he's been building multi-million-dollar businesses ever since. So he's helped people make millions. So you know what happens when we meet him? So we get it. That's all I have to say about that. And on top of all of that, he's one of the most humble, most compassionate, and kindest individuals, most gracious individuals. He's somebody who sees the best in us way before sometimes we even see it ourselves. You know, that happened to me, right? Oh, who's me, little me? You know, somebody like him sees the greatness in us, and he is the best at bringing it out. So things happen when you meet this man. So he'll be on the cruise. So what I like to say, ladies and gentlemen, is this, that don't listen to me. Don't pay any attention to what I'm saying. Just get on it and find out for yourself. You will know. Okay. All right. So excited. I could talk for hours. You guys can tell. Some of the people that are already registered, very exciting. We want your name here, ladies and gentlemen. So we can't wait to meet you for sure. That's the big one, the entrepreneur package. Then we have scholarships even for people who want to go slow. Let's say somebody wants to start with a $30 preferred customer. We even have a scholarship for you. That's incredible. So, for example, you get one advanced basics training. In fact, there are people in this room. You're here because of this scholarship, because you were invited because of that. They give us 1 month of the mentorship program included for free in the NLL Coffee Calls. It's not a free program, but they give us a month included. Then it locks us spot in the straight line customer revenue system. This is important. Make sure to talk to your leaders if you're thinking about going slower, because when you lock your spot, by Tuesday or Wednesday, you're going to have hundreds of people in your straight line. And then they just continue adding up, right? You know, I love it. And then they just continue adding up, and it's a long-term residual income potential, not even from what you build, even if you don't build it, from the overall growth of the company worldwide, ladies and gentlemen. So you want to get on that one and stay on your hosting, stay active on your hosting so you don't lose your spot. You know what happens sometimes? People missed doing the $30 preferred customer, and they stayed free. And then when they restructured, there was a nonprofit that fell in their team that has 38 million supporters. And then the people who missed locking their spot, guess what happened? The nonprofits rolled up to the top, They went to the bottom, and then they missed the opportunity to have that nonprofit in their straight line. Get it? That's crazy. I would be sick in the stomach. There were people sick in the stomach, I can tell you that. Anyway, they give us a private mentorship campaign, 100 bulk leads or equivalent. Oh my God, that's still on. This is big. 100 bulk leads or the equivalent. That's awesome. And the NLL, actually not the toolbox, but the basic program, if I understood this correctly, Mr. Shapiro was talking about. You get the NLL basic program for only 97 cents with all the tools. That's incredible, ladies and gentlemen. And then you have the most popular option, the Premier membership. This one, you do the Premier, right? You buy your Premier, then you fill out the scholarship, and you get the success message. Hey, Adrian, welcome. And then what you get is unreal. First of all, they waive $20,000 in sales, and they make you a coordinator for 6 months. Otherwise, we would have to do $20,000 in sales every month. You get it? No, well, $20,000 in sales waived, you're a coordinator, ladies and gentlemen. Why is this important? Remember the fast start bonuses? For people who want to make money, right? Not for people who just want to make a few dollars from their shopping. All of that is very nice. I'm talking about people who want to make thousands, right? Or lots of hundreds. The fast start bonuses, right? Let's say in April. So if we're a coordinator before the end of March, guess what? And we're on the 16th of March, so we have time to work our way up if we want to, or we can take advantage of that scholarship. And the scholarship will make you coordinator. You buy the Premier, they bump you up to coordinator, and boom, you're in a position now, starting April 1st, to start earning the fast start bonuses up to $5,000. You get it? All righty. Let me go back here. All right. Okay. What else do they give us? They give us access to all of the RGV replicated sites. They give us the NLL VIP and the RGV advanced trainings for 2 months, plus 5 guest tickets each. And that's over $2,000 value. Okay. What does that mean? That the training coming up next Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, is the advanced training for the month of March. Mr. Chad Shapiro himself is going to be teaching on social media explosion. There's nobody better, ladies and gentlemen. That's who I learned from to do social media. That's where everybody has the opportunity to learn from to do social media in a massive way. So that's what's going to happen this Saturday. And there is a registration fee. But let's say you do your Premier package, you apply for the scholarship, they waive $20,000, they make you coordinator, and they include this advanced training plus 2 months. I was hearing Janet already registered herself. You guys get it? Okay, so you can get it in your scholarship at the Premier level, or you can get registered with the registration that you have to get. Anyway, for a limited time, ladies and gentlemen, we have a private CEO launch audio email campaign included. Let me tell you something. People like Mr. Shapiro, who haven't even done anywhere near the kind of millions that Mr. Shapiro has done, they charge $1,000 for a half an hour of consulting. You guys understand that? Other people, not Mr. Shapiro, other people with less success than Mr. Shapiro, who's done a lot less than what Mr. Shapiro has done in business, they charge $1,000 for a half an hour of consulting. Well, guess what? They're including in your Premier 4 weeks from Monday through Friday, Mr. Shapiro in your ear on recordings daily, the ability to respond to him. Yeah, included. You don't have to pay $100. You don't have to pay thousands. You don't even have to pay $50. It's included in your Premier. This alone, to me, is worth millions of dollars, and it's included in your Premier scholarship. What can I say? And they give you 400 bulk leads or the equivalent. I'm making a special point of showing you this Premier scholarship today. You know why? Because we have 2 weeks for the end of the month. So I want people to understand the value of being at the Premier level. All right. We don't talk about it in the beginning of the month, in the middle of the month, but just so you know, okay. So you're either going to work your way up, welcome, or you're going to be getting a scholarship, but you got to be there. All right. All right. They give you 2 guest tickets to all of the mentorship calls and the NLL basic calls in the mornings. Okay. Now, another thing that happens is for those of you who become a coordinator between now and tomorrow, on Monday morning, Mr. Shapiro is doing a private meeting for coordinators and above only. You get it? And that training is, he doesn't cover any of the stuff that you and I are covering, which is more basic, right? This is called an advanced basics training. That's for people who have invested in themselves, right? And they want to go fast. And so it's a lot of strategy and how to do millions, really. Okay. So you will be invited to that as long as you get your premier and your scholarship. Okay. Now, why do we talk about investing money? Because we're talking about business. And when we talk about business, it's different than when we talk about jobs. How many of us agree we didn't have to pay? Most of the times, because I've worked jobs where you had to pay for a uniform and certain types of shoes, right? And training sometimes. But most of the times for a job, we don't pay. We just work for somebody who did pay. The owner invested hundreds of thousands of dollars for the company to provide the jobs. Here we're looking at ourselves being the owner, and we don't have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars. We can own a business that can potentially become a multi-million-dollar business, but start at $497. You see how it's a different story, right? So if you're looking at a job, then you don't invest anything. You sign up for free. You work your way up if you want to, or just get a little cash back when you shop and search and all that, right? So that's why we're talking about this. We're looking at every single person here as somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur. You want to be a business owner without having to invest $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 for a business. We love that. And if you just want to be a customer, just stay a customer. Now, none of this matters unless you and I understand that there is a learning process. It is not, I sign up and now I'm going to make money. Where's my check? We don't have a check fairy like Mr. Shapiro always say. You guys know what I'm talking about? All right. So in some companies, they mislead us and they tell us, and many of you have seen these, they tell us, hey, just sign up here. You're going to make $1 million in 20 minutes because it's the internet and the money just flows and you don't have to do any work because it's all automatic. That's BS, ladies and gentlemen, if I may speak frankly with you, right? Here, there's a learning curve, just like if I had to go and do your job, then I would have to learn, and then I would not be good in the beginning. And the fact that they just tell us this is already amazing. How many of us appreciate that already? Yeah? This is true. It's real. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, ladies and gentlemen, and we're in our 16th year. That means that's one of the reasons, right? We tell people the truth. That's one of the reasons. So there's training galore. The trainings like weekly overviews, fast start trainings, feature partners trainings, leadership package calls, email trainings, advanced trainings, nonprofit trainings, coordinators. That's the one I was telling you about. Coordinators, managers, and above. Call on Monday, private with Mr. Chad Shapiro himself, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Man, Saturday trainings, LGB coaching sites, that's available 24/7. So if somebody cannot attend all the trainings because they're at work, no problem, they're taking care of their family. We have a training site and we have recordings of many of these trainings and mentorship trainings. Okay, so the important question here is this: who do we learn from? Who is our coach? And that's crucial, How many of you heard of Kiyosaki? A massive wealthy person, right? Real estate, just a very, very successful person. He said, when we want to go somewhere, we better go with somebody who's already been there. How many of us agree? And that's the idea. So you and I, not only we don't have to learn from the person who referred us, but we don't want to, because we want to learn from somebody who's done the millions. Even if you and I have smaller goals, maybe we just want to do hundreds of thousands, but we're learning from the one who's done the millions. You get it? and that is CEO and founder Chad Shapiro, ladies and gentlemen. He has an unbelievable story, and we have the opportunity to learn from him. First of all, private training for coordinators on Monday. That alone. On next Saturday is the advanced training, social media explosion, where he's going to be teaching us exactly how to explode the social media market. And sometimes we get a chance to even hear from him on in a NLL coffee call. Sometimes we get lucky, or the mentorship programs, and he will give it to us straight, guys. It's incredible. So the schedule will be sent out on Monday, so you always want to find it and make sure you know where to go, so you can be there and lead your people that have access to them, of course. Okay, anyway, so all that. And there's a director run. Ladies and gentlemen, there's still time to get to director before the end of March. It's only the 16th, and March has 31 days. So that means 2 weeks. So why do people want to go a director? Because as a director, we're in a position to earn up to $25,000 in fast start bonuses. And that's incredible. And that's gigantic. So there's time. In 2 weeks, so much can happen. I've had people in my team that went director in like, I don't know, a few days, 2 days, something like that. You get it? So it was absolute intense work. But anyway, it's $100,000 in sales done in a month, and we can get there. But with this promotion, Mr. Shapiro said we can get it done not by $100,000 in sales, by only $20,000 in sales. Are you kidding me? 20,000. So I've had people do $20,000 in sales in my organization in a couple of days. $20,000 in sales in my team in a couple of days. And you know how they did it? They used the system. I'll show you what the system is in a minute. You get it? And so we have 2 weeks. So could people do this? Yeah. The only qualification is to have $2,000 in sales by Sunday. How many of us can get excited about getting this done? And I know we have a lot of people running towards it. So I can't wait to see the next the next directors. Okay. Being a manager will matter. Why? Because if you're a manager and you have one coordinator in your team, you get paid on all of the BVs, all of the bonuses, and all of the qualified packages from all of your coordinators, their coordinators, and so on to infinity, as long as they're not under another manager. That means that's gigantic, ladies and gentlemen, because this person could be generating $20,000 in sales. Remember the example we used? This person can be generating $20,000. This person. That means if you're a manager, you're profiting from the $80,000. You're getting bonuses from the $80,000. You get it? So that would be a very important aspect of being a manager. Now we have something in the company that's amazing called stacking. And stacking means that your leaders, people like executive directors John Bisbal, Ghislaine Nadeau, Mark Christensen, and many of the other leaders, so many, I can't even count them. We have directors like Don Brad. We have new leaders like Adrienne. I mean, I can't name you all, right? But guess what? These people are bringing people on board every single week, sometimes every single day. So what do they do with these people? They can stack them. What does that mean? They can put somebody in your team if you're serious. Now, what do we need to do to get somebody stacked in our team? We have to deserve it. And there is an incredible video in the Training Info site that explains what it means to deserve it. Let's say, for example, that you're here and I sign up, right? And I want to deserve it. So let's say I am not coming to trainings. I'm not studying the Training Info site. I am not participating like you guys are doing, showing the enthusiasm. I'm not learning anything. I have to be reminded of when every training is because I forget or I show up late. Would you stack somebody under me? No, right, Walter? No, Janet, no, of course not. What if I'm not wanting to invest any money? I just want to be a free customer and get cash back when I shop. Would you put somebody under me? No, right? Okay. What if I have a bad attitude and I'm negative and depressed and sad and you know, would you put somebody under me? No. Because why? Because I could ruin the new person. And the most important person is our new person. We want to help this new person. So my leader, you would want me to be positive and excited and learning. What if I'm not talking to anybody? What if I'm just waiting for people to jump in the boat and I'm not ever sharing the opportunity with them? Would you put somebody under me? No, right? Just get it? What if I'm saying, hey, you put somebody under me, but they're not doing any shopping? Where are the BVs? Would you put somebody under me? If I'm complaining that the people you put in my team, don't have any BVs because they haven't started shopping yet? Of course not. So you guys get it? We have to be leading by example from the beginning, even before we're good at it. Because in the beginning, there's a learning curve, right? We're not going to be that good. So we have to work on all these aspects. And please watch the video, the team building video. Mr. Shapiro explains it, of course, like nobody else. Understatement of the year. And so that we all can be working together towards being really deserving of this. Our leaders, every Tuesday, they have to submit a form and say why. Hey, I would like to put somebody under Allison or Esther or Ghislaine. And why? They have to say why. They have to justify. Because this person is doing this and this or whatever. And if the company approves it, then the person can be moved in your team. So you see why we have to work really hard and be deserving, right? So that is that. And then we have our nonprofit program. Ladies and gentlemen, for coordinators and above, okay, main goal to raise $1 billion for nonprofits, and one of our partners has already raised over 100 million for different causes. And this is the key. The people in our history that have helped the most nonprofits are the ones who build the biggest teams. So that's why you see a focus on building a team. Instead of you and I running around trying to cold recruit some nonprofit and not knowing what we're doing and ruining them, we build a team. So because the team, they have warm connections with nonprofits. They have their friendships with the owners. So this just happens naturally, smoothly. You get it? And so we have trainings about this. And this is you see, this is a very important picture. It's a historical document, ladies and gentlemen. What you see here is Mr. Chad Shapiro walk on stage at a kickoff of a company that had over 100,000 members. And he walked in that company 12 months before this picture as a new guy. Many of you are the new guy or girl, or maybe you've been in for a few weeks, right? And he didn't know anything. He was more scared than anything, had no experience. And he started paying attention to people like Chad Shapiro, people who'd done millions, okay? He started applying. He went to work. He followed directions. He went to work. And in the 12 months, that's when at this time of this convention, he had become the #1 producer in that company of over 100,000 members. He had built $1 million business in 12 months, ladies and gentlemen, from being the rookie, the newbie, the new guy. $1 million business in 12 months. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what he's walking on stage to receive the award for the #1 personal volume producer. So he's our trainer. You see why I get so excited about people, you know, for example, jumping on the opportunity to become a coordinator this today or tomorrow, so you can be learning from him directly on Monday morning. And then people being in that advanced training on social media explosion on next Saturday, every time there's a chance to hear from them, and it can be life-changing. So that's him there. So now, thank you for your time explaining the company. I want to thank Kendall for doing an amazing job. And the rest of the few minutes, we're going to be doing a advanced basics training. So thank you for your grace. Let me show you. This is information on how CEO and founder Chad Shapiro did it. Okay? This is not Marita's information. This is nobody else's information but his. And so it's worth gold. All right? So let's get all this. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not covering. So we're going to cover this. What are we going to cover? This. Okay. You guys ready? Please take notes here because this is like, what do we do, right? To do the production. All right. Let's take a look. Okay. Grab a brand new page on your notepad, please, ladies and gentlemen. I love it, Esther. I love it, Lynn. I love it, Monica and Zoltan. Okay, you guys are great. Okay. The Producers Club. That's the first order of business. That's what we do. Why? Because everything else comes from the Producers Club, from being in the Producers Club. The customers that do the shopping, that generate those BVs so you can get residual income, comes from the Producers Club. The nonprofits that are going to jump on board and it's going to be simple and smooth process, they come from getting in the Producers Club. Everything comes, the checks, the fast start bonuses come from being in the Producers Club. So what do we need to do? We need to get in the Producers Club. Even as a free or preferred customer, if we get in the Producers Club in our first 30 days, we get a $750 bonus. If we're a Premier and above, $1,000 bonus. But that's not even the biggest part. The biggest part is what can happen when we do this and then we help our team do the same. So put a number 1, please, on the top of your page. I love to do this part because I know when it was shown to me, it opened my eyes, my brain, and my heart. Okay, you guys ready? So who's that number 1? That number 1 is us. When you and I are new in our business, we start alone. We have nobody in our team. No customers, no team members, no nonprofits. So we get in the Producers Club. That means we have 4 in our first month, first 30 days, we have 4 qualified premiers. That means 4 people that choose to buy the Premier package and they get 4 preferred customers each in 4 different teams. We only build 4 teams. We don't build 400 teams. We don't build 40,000 teams. We build 4 teams, which is exciting, right? Now, once we have that, you put a number 4 underneath the 1. We're going to write all the numbers in underneath each other in a straight line. So in your first 30 days, you have 4 qualified premiers with all the preferred customers. So what do we do? Let's say we do that in April. So what do we do? And some of you are going to be doing it in March, okay? But I'm just going with April because we have a lot of brand new people here, so you guys get it. All right. So in April, we do that. What do we do in May? We help each one of those 4 do the same thing. So 4 times 4 is 16. So please write a 16 underneath the 4. What do we do in June? We help each one of the 16 people do the same, right? Simple. Each person just getting their 4 qualified premiers. It's not easy, but it's simple. All right. So then that was in June. We got 16 getting 4. That's 64 in June. What do we do in July? We help each one of the 64 get 4. That's 256 in July. Write that down underneath. And what do we do in August? We help the 256 do their 4 qualified premiers. And so you have 1,024 by the end of August. People. That's just the qualified premiers. That's not counting the 4 preferred customers. All the preferred customers, they probably have more. All the free customers, the nonprofits, and so on. You get it? So now, if we have 1,024 people qualified premiers by July. So each person, what did they do? They just bought the Premier. They got 4 preferred customers at $30 each in 4 different teams, right? You get it? And we did that by the end of August. If each one of those people in the next, from September, October, November, December, all they did was $500 more in business, that's $1,000. So that's 1,000 people doing $1,000 in volume. That's $1 million business in 12 months. Did you guys get that? Right, Tina? 1,000 times 1,000. That's $1 million in business. Is it easy to do? No. Is it simple? Yes. Do they train us exactly on what to do? Yes. If we deserve it, do we get help from our leaders that I mentioned with some people put in our team? Yes. Would it be worth learning to do this? Yeah. And it never works arithmetically like that, because you're going to find people that don't bring any qualified premieres, right? Even though they're inspired at first, they may take 10 months to even start moving. But then you will also get people that will bring you thousands of people in the first 12 months. And then tens of thousands of people like we already have. You get it? So that's what this training is about. So thank you for that. Does it open your mind and your heart and your, oh my God, right? Because it's simple. I know, I love it. I love it, Lynn. I love it, Jeremy. I love it, Don. Okay, so these are the 7 steps to duplication. You guys ready to write? Step number 1 is to invite. People are not going to take a look at the company unless we ask them to take a look, unless we talk. You guys realize that? So that's why we in the training info page, this is really important. Let me show you. This is the page where you want to go and study. The training info here on your RGV.com site, there's information. It comes directly from Mr. Chad Shapiro. That's who you're learning from in the training info site. So if you were hesitant learning there, please know who you're learning from. It's all him. All right. So you will have a section about how to learn how to talk to customers, how to promote our featured partners, the opportunity, how to work with personal referrals on social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, how to work with local networking events, and how to work with leads, ladies and gentlemen. So the first step is invite. The best thing to do is to get them to the free tour. After they take the free tour, you want to give them the rgv.info site so that they look at all the videos about that explain, the product, services, and to make sure they watch the 10-minute corporate overview. The next best bet, put them on the phone with an expert. What I like to do personally, and I ask my leaders to bring their people on Facebook, connected with them and with myself. So if I call them and I couldn't get a hold of them, then I can talk to them on Facebook. You guys know what I'm talking about. So different leaders have different ways. So you work with your leaders the way they like to work, and that's what we do. And then the next best bet is to bring them to a webinar. Like on Monday, we have a blast off call on social media, on Facebook. On Tuesday night, we have the shopping rewards and feature partners call. On Wednesday, we have a nonprofit training. On Thursday, we have a fast start training. You know what I mean? Different presentations that are live. Very important, because how many of us, when we came to a live event like this instead of just a video, it opened our minds, right? We saw the different people typing, etc., right? Okay. Now, if your leaders are not available at that moment, your leaders are very busy, right? So then you bring them to the presentation before they talk to the leader, okay? Your leaders, they're not your secretary. They're there to help you. You look at them more like a mentor, right? Okay. Also, we have Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, Next Level Leadership coffee calls. Those are open, so you can invite your people to that. Now, I found personally, just so you know, that sometimes if I bring somebody who is a little bit confused about what we do and they don't understand, if I bring them sometimes to some of their morning trainings, they don't get it all. Now, if Mr. Shapiro's talking, they get it. You know what I mean? But if I'm doing the training, I don't invite them to that training in the morning. You guys get it? Okay, anyway. Those are open. The mentorship program in the morning, Wednesdays and Friday mornings, those are for people who are already excited about it. You know what I'm talking about? They've seen the info videos. They understand what we do. They want to learn more. And then they come to hear from somebody like Mr. Shapiro or Mr. Powell, and then they go, aha, that's how we build it. You get it? All right, so that's my little 2 cents about that. Guess what? Those 2 cents that I've been doing for years work. So there's many, many different ways to introduce the people, but there's an order that if you follow, you allow the new person to get more comfortable with things. If you and I think back, for the majority of us, some of you just saw it right away, of course. But as people like me, I was a little bit slower. I had to take some time. I was scared. I was, oh, what is this? I talked to a gentleman, I think he might be in the room today, that I had talked to several weeks ago, and then I couldn't get a hold of him anymore. And then finally we reconnected yesterday, and he said to me, oh, you know what? I had all these different scam artists from other countries that got me, so I didn't know who was who. And now, yeah, that can happen, right? They get so many calls. So that's why you and I want to take people through the process. Okay. I'm talking about when we're talking to leads, right? Because if you're talking to your friends, they're not going to be on the internet being called by who knows what, right? So anyway, so I showed you this, I showed you this. So personal referrals. With personal referrals, they told me, Marita, put a big list on paper like you're going to find in the training info page. A big list of everybody you know and have ever known in your life. Put it on paper. Don't rely on your Facebook page or your phone list. Put it on paper. So I went and wrote a list of 5 people. My expert took one look at it and he said, Marita, that's a chicken list. Go and write a real list. Because I was scared, to talk to all of them, and I was prejudging them. I was thinking, okay, who's going to want to do this? Who's going to be interested? Oh, that person is not going to be interested. So I was prejudging. And they told me, Marita, no, we're all guilty. They said, Marita, you don't know who's going to want to do something or not. So you just put everybody in. We know that not everybody's going to be wanting to be in business, but we put everybody down because, number one, we don't know who's going to fall in love with it. And number two, we're not going to try to recruit them. This is important, okay? This is very big. Mr. Shapiro just explains it like, amazingly. I'll just try to do my best here. Not everybody's going to do it. So if you and I go try and recruit everybody, we're going to turn our friends off. And they're going to see us coming, and they're going to shut their doors and lower their windows, and they're not going to answer the phone because they see us coming. You guys get it? And so what we want to do is we want to go and tell them, hey, Bob or Susie, whatever your name is, right? If it's your same, I love to use those names. My friend, do me a favor. I am totally excited about this company. I finally found it. This is what I've been looking for 20 years, and I am very excited about this. Do me a favor. I need some help. Could you please look at what I'm doing? Give me some referrals. I know you know a lot of people, or I know you know some great people, and I'm looking for some sharp people. I'm doing this. I know it's probably not for you. We have to say this. So what are we doing? Mr. Shapiro says, tell them your excitement. Ask them for help. You want referrals, and tell them, I know this is not for you. If we say that, is leaving them a door out, letting them off the hook, right? The door is out, the back door. Okay, they can get out. They don't have to feel recruited. If we do that, it takes the awkwardness out of the whole thing, and then your friend can look at it and then give you some referrals. Or maybe your friend will say, oh, but this is very exciting. Tell me more. You get it? And that's when we do not explain. That's when we use the free tour, the .info sites, the experts, and those webinars. You got it? You got it? So we tell them, the excitement is very important, because if we're just casual about it, or we're just kind of thinking, I wonder if I could do this, well, let me talk to my neighbor, it won't work. They have to see us on fire. One day, ladies and gentlemen, I was at a training. I saw somebody on stage who was saying, you have to set yourself on fire, and then other people will come to see you burn. And that is the truth. When I was new, I was pathetic at it. I did everything wrong, but the one thing I did right, you know what I was? I was excited. I went to all my friends and I told them, I finally found it. This is it. We're going to get wealthy together. You got to look at this thing. Of course, I was doing the wrong things when I was saying we're going to get wealthy together. I should have asked for referrals, but I didn't do that in my first time. But I was excited. You guys understand? So we have to. If you're casual, your friends are not going to look. If you're insecure about it, your friends are not going to look. If we're insecure ourselves, lean on Mr. Shapiro's confidence. Lean on your expert's confidence. That's what they taught me. When I was new, I was scared. But I leaned on their excitement. You get it? And so I went and I was excited. And I believed that I was going to do this big time. And so I went to them. Now, did everybody of my friends and family sign up? No. My brothers, ladies and gentlemen, the first people I talked to, my brothers, they laughed at me. Oh, My big brother didn't even want to look. And my little brother laughed at me. And they both, oh, what is this crazy sister doing now? You know what I mean? So talk to everybody, because out of all of those people, I had 50 people sign up. I had talked to 400 people. 350 people said no. 50 people said yes. In fact, they were not even all mine, because some of my people brought their own War Market friends, right? Referrals. And so 50 people signed up when I was brand new. And I was very excited about it. How many of those people do you see here today? One. Miss Ghislaine Nadeau. You see what I mean? Who was a referral from my friend. And you don't even see my friend here, but Miss Nadeau is here. She has a team all around the country and around the world. You get it? So talk to everybody. Know that they're not going to all do it, so don't take their rejection personally, but it will be a lot less rejection if we don't get our feelings hurt, like Mr. Shapiro was talking about. You guys got it? You got it? Okay, I hope this is helping. All right. So that's that for personal referral. So don't twist their arms. Don't try to convince them. This is what I'm going to leave you with for the personal referrals. That you want to make sure they look. Insisting that they look is not trying to convince them or twisting their arm. We don't want to convince them to the business. We just want to convince them to look. And that's why we have to be excited and not explain it. If we explain it even a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the mistakes that I made. If we explain it even a little bit, they think they know what we're doing. They think we're Amway or something. And with all due respect, Amway is a company that's done billions and is doing billions. So very, very great company. But they think they know, so they're not going to look. So what we want to get them is to look. The RGV free tour or the rgv.info page. You get it? And so that's why the excitement, and that's why we say now, because that creates curiosity. Okay, leads on the internet could be even a lot more exciting than talking to the warm market now, because these are people that filled out something online. They're looking. And our cousin, our neighbor, my brothers, your best friends, all of your co-workers and people you went to school with, these people could absolutely not be interested, just like mine weren't, right? But the leaders are looking. So you could have people like Kendall who was looking, people like Victoria, people like Miss Bispo from social media, but you know what I mean, all of you. And they're looking, so they could be a lot more excited than the people that we're talking to. So you want to have a lot of leads, because again, it's a numbers game. If you have one of these scholarships, like the Premier Scholarship that gives you 400 bulk leads or the equivalent, if you get the entrepreneur package, you have 2,000 bulk leads or the equivalent. You know what I mean? Even the preferred customer, you get 100 bulk leads. So that's the opportunity to talk to a lot of people. Some of them will be like a Esther or like a Jeremy or like a Monica and Zoltan. Just doing incredible. You get it? So there's scripts. Again, we have to go in the training info side and study the lead section. Who wrote that? Mr. Chad Shapiro. Who put the videos there? Mr. Chad Shapiro. So you're learning from him. There's nobody better. You get it? He's done millions. So you learn from him. And then there's a lead script, practice it. Don't just read it once and then go and wing it to your lead call, because you're going to be very fumbling, right? I know I was. The insecurity, sometimes your leaders will offer to let you listen to their lead calls. If they offer that, take it, because not that you're going to learn something new, but you're going to learn, you're going to get more confident to see that it is simple, how to build rapport, and so on. And then practice for yourself. You practice that script. Practice with your dog, practice with your cat, practice in front of the mirror, practice in front of your family members, so that it's rolling out off your tongue. Otherwise, if you're looking for the word like hello, so Susie, Susie there. This is me. The script says hello name. Is name there? Is your name there? Okay, this is my name. Guys, we have to have some fun, right? Okay, so practice. Yes, practice. Practice. The people who do it best, they practice. They didn't just wing it. Mr. Shapiro was training about that. And social media, ladies and gentlemen, again, in the training info side, you go to the build your team section and you click on social media and you study the whole social media section and the social media script. And then you learn it and you practice it. And then you start, and you're going to be shy in the beginning. But the more people we talk on social media, the more we're going to be finding the right people. This is the idea with social media, that number one, you don't want to be posting your link out there. Hey, I found this is the right company, and you put your free tour link there. No, that's not going to work. First of all, you want to take care of what you post on your page. If you're putting posts of what you had for dinner or your individual specific inclinations, whether it's your faith or your political inclinations or whatever it is, just keep it professional. Of course, pictures of your family or your latest picnic, that's fabulous, right? Keep it professional and exciting, inspiring. Not go there to fight against people who have different ideas of your own, right? Nothing controversial, because you don't know. It could be somebody who has different ideas than you that becomes your top producer and makes and does millions of BVs per month, and they could be in your team, but you already turned them off because you're trying to convince them that your ideas are better than theirs. And you know what I mean? This is business. So, you know what I mean? So it's a different approach to Facebook, for example, right? You can't even do that in LinkedIn, but on Facebook, where everybody can post more or less what they want, even if we were used to using Facebook to promote our own personal convictions, which is fine, right? Now that we're in business, we don't want to be promoting our personal convictions. We're in business. Kind of like if we own a restaurant or a grocery store, we don't promote what party we're from or what faith we're from, you know what I mean? Because we want everybody to come and eat there, and we serve them just as graciously. And that's the whole idea with social media, okay? Clean up your pages. Don't post your link. I love it when John Bisbal says, don't be a billboard, right? If you, okay, and so, and work with them, and all of this is covered by Mr. Shapiro a million times better, obviously, but I'm just covering some of the things that will come up. And then private message with the message from Mr. Shapiro in their, just send them private messages. And if you send a whole bunch of private messages, you're going to get some responses. Now, many of them will be trying to recruit you in their business. So what we promote is next level leadership. Now, if they happen to be looking for a business, then it will be okay to then bring up our GV. That's how Adrienne was found, right, by John. And so, because she was finally looking for a business. But we promote social next level leadership. Why? Because a lot of these people are already in a company of their own, and they're trying to recruit you and me. That's what they're doing. So if you and I just go, hey, listen, I got my shopping mall, get paid for shopping, we're just looking like rookies. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if we're approaching them, building relationships, I'd like to learn more about you, everything that Mr. Shapiro covers there, then they will ask you, what do you do? And then you can tell them, well, you have a business, you know, what they're going to tell you about what they do. You're going to be asking questions. And then you can introduce them to next level leadership that can help them either train their people, utilize the social media technologies, the SMS technology, whatever, right? Leads, whatever. You guys get it? And then if the person says, and say, you tell them, next level leadership is helping me with my first business. And then they say, what is your business? And then you can tell them, yeah, we're working with affiliate marketing and shopping online and different things, a platform. You know what I mean? Then, but that will be last. First, you learn about them. Second, you propose next level leadership that could help them with what they're doing. And if they're looking for a business, then you would introduce your business. That's the main goal, the main thing with social media. And the thing is to do a lot of numbers. I talk to people every day on social media, and I don't get possible, excited responses about joining my business all the time. I guess I get a lot more responses about liking Next Level Leadership or using Next Level Leadership, coming to trainings on Next Level Leadership, using the tools. And sometimes there's somebody who is looking, like that's what happened when I talked to John Bisbal. He wasn't actually looking. In fact, he didn't want to hear about it, but we had a good talk. And then he finally, after a while, looked. Yeah, I follow up. Yeah, that's the best story I have about following up. Well, I have lots of stories, right? I was telling you this gentleman, one of the leaders was calling them for me, who owned 12 subways. That's a serious businessman, but he could never get to look at my company. He is looking for an opportunity, you know what I mean? But he was a lead. Anyway, follow up, follow up, follow up. There's a video there that talks about follow up, and not because it's my voice, guys, because all of that is information that I learned from Chad Shapiro, obviously. But you got to study that, and you don't just listen to it once and then you know it. Study it, take notes, go rewind, go back, watch it again. Why? Because sometimes people ask me, so what do I do now? And they have no clue. Because why? They haven't studied their follow-up video. That follow-up video will make you money. Because John wouldn't be here if I hadn't followed up really well with him. You know, sometimes you have to, sometimes people talk to somebody, they get excited, whether lead or social media, right? And then the person is going to look at something and then they can't get them back on the phone. And then they stop inviting them to the Tuesday night and the blast off on Monday. And they stop inviting them to the NLR coffee call. And then they think that the person was not interested. And in fact, the person had just gone on vacation. Some of my top directors, that's the way it happened. They had gone on vacation, they couldn't answer my phone, or they had to go out of town because somebody had to go whatever into college or to hospital or whatever. And then don't stop. Keep the connection. If you had a good connection, keep the connection. Now, do you spend time just every day calling them? No way. You don't want to be needy, right? You don't want to be begging. But could you send them the link to the Tuesday night, the blast off, or the Thursday night? Could you? You know what I mean? No push it, right? Exactly, Esther. Just keeping them informed. Now, if after a few times, now, and all of that will depend who you're talking to, right? Because some people, I don't keep following up or inviting them to anything. I kept on with John because he was sharp, he was professional, he was excited, he was an exciting person. I kept talking to this man who owned the 12 subways because I kept talking to many of you who are in this room that took a while to respond because you were too busy. But I don't do that with everybody. You see what I mean? You had a good connection, you follow up. Anyway, that's what I do. So I hope it can help you. God, I need to hurry up. I got 3 minutes to complete this. You guys ready? We're going to go fast. So use your expert, guys. Please, if you explain the company and you're the one answering questions, you're doomed. You're going to fail. I like to be straight up. So you see this picture, please draw it. There's you, there's your contacts, your leads, your friends, your Walmart, everybody, and there's an expert. Build the possibility of a conversation with your expert on the first conversation. Hey, if you go and take a look at this free tour, you may receive a phone call from my executive director or from my whoever you're working with, right? If you're in the leaders package and Mr. Shapiro is calling some of your leads, you got to say, oh my God, if you get a call from 210, you better pick that up because that could be our CEO. If you get a chance to speak to them, and that's incredible. You know what I mean? And put them on the phone, let the expert answer the questions. Don't try to be the expert. The more you do this, the more you're going to have success sooner. The less you do this, the more you're never going to have success. Period. End of story. Alrighty, the expert is the website, the webinars, and the person that is helping you. Okay, number 2 is show up. Do they look? And that's where the follow-up comes in, right? Many are not going to look right away. So what I do is I watch the follow-up video. It tells you to look, to call them and find out, hey, did you receive my email? Now, with uploading the emails and the email campaigns, we can see who opened the email. We can see who is, looking. And with the SMS text, I know I'm so jealous. You guys are working on it already in the United States. And we can't yet here in France, but you guys send them an SMS. Hey, I'm going to send you an email. Go check it out. And I call them back and say, hey, did you receive my email? Oh, no. Okay, let's send it to you again. You know what I'm saying? Follow up until they take a look. We don't twist their arm, but we make sure they look. And then we found out That was very exciting, wasn't it? Step 3, do they see it? Do they see the value? Some people are going to see it right away. They're going to be so excited. This is amazing. That's it. I'm doing it. And some people are going to be negative. Oh, no, they're going to try to bring it down. Oh, no, I don't know about these things, you know. And then there's all sorts of in between. And we get better at presenting. We get better at building rapport. We get better at following up. We get better at our excitement level. And then we're going to have more people seeing it. And some will, some won't. So what? We just have to understand that some people will be in front of the gold mine and they will not see the value. So we just go next. Some will, some won't. So what? Next, 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 until you find your Esthers and your Ghislaines and your Walters and your Victors and your Taiwas. We use the apple analogy to describe the type of responses, not the person. But the rotten apple responses are the ones. Please don't try to sit with them and convince them. That's where you run. Hey, thank you so much for your time. All the best. Bye-bye. And you're out of there. If they tell you all these things, thank you so much for your time. This is definitely not for you. We appreciate your time. Bye-bye. And you're out of there. Green apples will be the majority, ladies and gentlemen. That's who? That's somebody like this man I've been following up for 2 months who hasn't yet looked at the company, but he's a serious man. I'm following up with him because he could be very, very excited. Or somebody who did see it and loved it, but he's not doing it yet. The majority of people are not going to do it right away because they just got a promotion, because they're finishing graduate school, because they're just having a baby, because whatever, they don't have time, but they're going to stop working that job in 6 months or 2 months. Put him on Facebook and keep in touch. Put him on Facebook and keep in touch. Facebook will be your green apple treasury box. The majority will be green apples, ladies and gentlemen. John Bisbal, Mr. Shapiro, has been talking about a lot. He was a green apple for 6 months. He was just sitting there with arms crossed and not doing anything, right? Not wondering what the heck. And then he became a red apple. And then he went to work. That's the one we want, red apples. Some of us are still green apples because we're still looking, evaluating, considering, discussing, and we need to jump in and be the red apple that makes it happen. We're just sometimes feeling sorry for ourselves. I did that, you know, I'm wondering, oh my God, what am I going to do? Until I finally said, okay, I'm doing this, I'm in. I put my money down. I went to trainings. I started talking to everybody. I messed up like crazy. And Mr. Shapiro says, don't worry about messing up. The mistakes is going to get you the experience. And if we hurry up and making mistake after mistake after mistake, we're going to find the people that are going to be the red apples. Those are the ones who are ready. Some of these red apples are going to make you millions of dollars in volume every month. And if we don't hurry up and go through the rotten apple responses and go through the green apples, we're not going to find the red apples. And you know what? We need to be the red apple first. That's why we need to get ourselves in first. Our excitement, our determination, our time, our pocketbook, everything everything, right? Our connections, put a biggest list. I was a green apple when I put a list of 5 people, you see. And then my expert said, that's a chicken list. You go and put a real list. So I put 400 names on my list. Now, some people say, I can't put 400 names on my list. Yes, you can, because you haven't looked at the memory jogger. The memory jogger will help you put 500 names in the list. I fell short. I've had people put 200 names on a paper in an hour and 100 names in 20 minutes. I've had people doing that. Anyway. Then the number 4 is sign up. Do they sign up? Do they get started? And we've seen the options, right? Free customer, refer customer, premier with a scholarship, or then premier and entrepreneur package. You have options. Everybody has options. People choose what they're going to do, and then you plug them into training. Some people will see the value and they're not even going to sign up. And when that happens, it's mind-blowing. But don't reevaluate. Don't question yourself. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just the fact. Some people will be afraid of success. They won't take action. And they will love it, but they won't do it. That's okay. We can only help the ones who go for it, right? The options, we talked about it, the higher you are, the more money you make. If you're a coordinator, by the Premier between today and tomorrow, you'll be a coordinator by Monday, and you'll be invited to the private training of Shapiro. Not only that, by Tuesday, your leaders could be already submitting the forms to put some people in your team. By Wednesday, Thursday, you could have some people in your team, and you'll be invited to the advanced training on Saturday on the social media explosion with Mr. Chad Shapiro and some special guests. Get it? So that, and if you're a manager, of course, you know, okay, your leaders are looking who's stepping up. You step up today or tomorrow, your leaders are going to have some people in your team probably by Tuesday or Wednesday, because that's when they have to submit the forms. You understand? So, if so, anyway, I'm going fast, guys, because I spend a lot of time with the basics. The entrepreneur package, the price is $25,000, but the value is millions of dollars to my mind. Okay? We don't have to pay any of that. They give it to us for only $3,500. And that, gentlemen, is amazing. The cruise is included. We talked about it. If you're going to build this like your career, you not only want to be on it, but you want to be starting to work on how many people in your team you're having. All right? So pack the boat, right? We want to pack the boat, you and me. Only $3,497, and we must be a Premier first. So that, it gives you so many leads, ladies and gentlemen, the trainings for 6 months, so you don't have to miss out on anything. That means you're in. You're a red apple. You jumped in with both feet. If you're not ready, add for $30, or the Premier package makes you a coordinator. That's incredible. We talked about it. In the entrepreneur package, it makes you a manager, and for 6 months, and all the trainings for 6 months. Number 5, do they shop? Do they use them all? Many people sign up with the Premier and Entrepreneur package and they don't even shop through them all. That's crazy, but it happens. So how do we help? First, show them that they have them all and the swag bags and all that, and bring them to the Tuesday call, because the Tuesday call will help, all right? And then do yourself, when you and I do our own shopping, ladies and gentlemen, it gives them example. You know what? When I shopped for the first time was because I heard somebody shop through their mall, and they talked about it, how they had bought a stick of deodorant for $1.20. They didn't have to pay for shipping, and they got cash rebate. And that was the thing. I had never shopped online before, but by hearing that somebody talked like that, it gave me the confidence that, hey, I could shop online too. You get it? So if we do our own shopping, guess what? People are going to go, oh, okay, I could do that too. So buy stuff that you're going to buy anyway through your own mall. Not that you have to go spend money you don't have on things you don't want. No. But we all going to be buying something next week. Yeah. So the Tuesday night call will help a lot. Then number 6 is, do they promote their website? Some people start with the biggest package. They shop and they use their swag bags, but they don't talk to anybody. They don't show it. And then they just remain a customer, really, at a higher level. But a customer, to build a business, we have to talk to everybody, because millions of people, ladies and gentlemen, are not going to do this at all. But millions of people are. So how fast do you and I want to go and talk to all of them to find the ones who are? Get it? I learned that the average person has an average of 260 people that they know. Do you guys still hear me? Okay, thank you. All right, thank you guys. All right, we're about to wrap it up. Okay, so anyway, the average person has about 260 people that they know and they can reach out to. 260. So what if every one of us hurries up and goes talks to the 260 people and none of them signs up? Who cares? You know why? Because then we can talk to the one person who we find on the leads or on social media. We can talk to them about, hey, I talked to my 260 people, and so we can tell them so they can go and talk to their 260 people and they can find somebody. You get it? Just keep it to yes. Some of you know what I'm talking about. You understand? Because when I'm talking, if you're co-teaching, you missed something. So we can talk if we've done it, and then our person could be the one finding the Tinas and the Walters and the Cynthias. You get it? And they're out there. And I'm determined. I'm going to find them. And so are you, if you choose to, right? And the 7th step or last step is training, duplication, personal growth. You're here, so you're part of the first one. You're doing it. Training is the key, right? We have to get it if we want to get paid. Duplication is the second aspect of it. Is it's not enough that you and I are here. Is our people here? How many new people do we have learning today? That's the duplication, right? So when you have 40 new people every single week at this training, now we're duplicating, right? Even if today you have one person or next training, the work is, we have an incredible week. We're going to have the schedule on Monday, like I said, but the big event is Saturday, social media explosion training with Mr. Shapiro. Guess what? How many people can each one of us have by then? That means if we go and talk to everybody, get leads, talk on social media, make a big list, talk to everyone, and bring them to the blast off, bring them. Guess what? If we do that every day, we're going to have some people that are going to be at the training with Mr. Shapiro. So I encourage you to have a small goal, maybe 10 people. For some of you, 20, 30, right? For some of you, maybe 10 people. For some of you, that's maybe a lot, maybe 5 people. For some of you, 2 people. Some of you, a good goal would be to have one person. Doesn't mean that you're going to talk to one person today and then just hope they come on Saturday. No, it means that we're going to talk to a lot of people every single day, and then a lot of people are going to say no. Some people are going to say maybe later on. Some people are going to say yes, and they're going to come on Tuesday. And then on Tuesday we redo the same thing. We don't just stay warming up that only person that we have. We go and talk to a lot of people, and then on Tuesday a lot of people are going to say no. A lot of people are going to say maybe, and then one person is going to say, okay, I'm coming on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, we don't just stay warming up our 2 people. We go again, talk to a lot of people, and then many people are going to say no, and then some people are going to say maybe, and then one person maybe says, okay, and I'll come on Thursday. In every webinar, you and I are having a new person there, or 2 people there. You guys get it? It's so exciting because it's not like you and I have to find 4 people each day, but we talk to a lot of people, and many are going to say no, and some are going to say maybe 6 months from now, and one person, new person at the new training, and we repeat Monday, on Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday. Do you think that we could have some of them that are going to be at the training with Mr. Shapiro? If you have tickets, you can invite them. If you get your scholarship, you get tickets as well. Not only our own registration, and if you register, the same, of course, but some tickets. You get it, ladies and gentlemen, that's the plan. So I want to thank you. Our main goal to raise $1 billion. That's how we reach it, by building the team, because they know nonprofits that you and I don't even know exist. That's how we have nonprofits with 38 million supporters, because we build a team. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. I went over the time, and so thank you for your grace with that. I hope this helped you. I appreciate you all, and let's go make it happen. Leaders, call your people, and people call your leaders. Let them know where you want to get started, whatever you want. And if you do the premiere, remember, you'll be invited on Monday with Mr. Chad Shapiro, and you could have some stacking by Tuesday or Wednesday, by Wednesday or Thursday. Thank you all for your time.